Welcome back to another episode of Field of Screens podcast. I'm Hayride Hank.
And I'm Rusty.
Last episode, that was our first time experiencing the new format. I think it went pretty well. What do you think, Rusty?
Yeah, I think it went pretty darn well. I mean, I was looking on social media and I think everyone, I'm basically the new star. People are excited about my presence. You did forget to tell the podcast listeners, the ones who listen to audio only, that I am a talking radio, so let's get that out of the way. But yeah, it was a big surprise when I came in. I changed things up. I mean, you did well too, Hayride Hank. But I mean, I just think it shocked people. It was different. We never see anything like that.
Oh, are you guys recording another episode?
Oh, the toolbox is talking now.
No. That's my entrance. That's how I was introduced.
I heard you guys recording your last episode, and I was gonna speak up, but I just got nervous, and I've never really watched horror movies, but I've always wanted to become part of a podcast. My name's Eugene, but you can just call me a Bucket.
Bucket, you're a toolbox. I mean, we already got two people here. I think that's more than enough. I mean, Hank has a big personality. I have one. I don't know where you would really fit in this dynamic.
Now, Rusty, I let you in this podcast. I think we give Bucket a shot. I think Bucket could probably bring something.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, and without further ado, I think it is time that we talk about the movie that we're going to be covering, and that is the movie Companion. Rusty, how are we going to segment this up?
Well, let's just dive right into it. Let's talk about the beginning of the film. What were our thoughts when they were introducing the characters, introducing Iris and her relationship with Josh? How do we just feel about the beginning in general?
Well, I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, we get a nice intro. We find out who Iris kind of is. She really likes Josh, who's her boyfriend, at least that we know of. There's some twists later on, but I mean, as far as it gets going, you like the group. They go to the little party. Sergey, he was kind of weird. You kind of get suspicious about him.
I just want to point out that the way his name's spelled, it looks like Sergey, but they do say Sergey in the movie, so I guess it is Sergey.
I'll just be honest, I don't know anyone named Sergey or Sergey. I've never met anyone with either of those names, so I wouldn't know. But what I do know is I think this movie does kind of do itself a disservice, especially with the first act. As I was watching it, like if you watched a trailer for this at all, they showed a lot, and it reveals a lot like in the first act. One, it reveals that she is a robot. And that is kind of a big twist, a big swing in the beginning, and I was kind of shocked that they just like put it in the promotional stuff so much. Like even like a movie poster, like before you even click on it, her eyes are like completely white or silver, so you have an idea that she is kind of a robot, and the movie is called Companion. So when that big twist comes later on, I was really surprised, and throughout the entire beginning I did feel like I was just waiting for the shoe to drop. In the trailer they showed her being covered in blood and her looking shocked. It looked like she was being taken advantage of, which it kind of does happen. So I was just kind of waiting for all that to unfold while we were going through all this beginning stuff. Also, I think it was pretty apparent that it was going to be Sergey who was going to be the one that tries to take advantage of Iris. I mean, he's like giving her the eyes as soon as he's introduced. Everyone else seems pretty friendly in the friend group, except that dude. It's kind of like, oh, okay, Sergey is going to do some weird stuff here. Let's see how it goes.
I also kind of thought that maybe it would have been Josh. I mean, just from what we know, he wasn't the most ideal boyfriend. Like, even as the movie was going, it shows him laying down, and she's really into Josh, but it shows Josh just having sex with her, and then he just rolls over and doesn't really say anything. So I was like, maybe it could be him. But anyways, it does happen that Sergey does take advantage of Iris. Iris, slits his throat or does something with a knife. And then, she comes back to the house and Josh gives the command, shuts her down, and then we kind of find out the truth when he wakes her back up. Well, what do we think about that?
He calls her a fuckbot.
Yeah, I mean, if we ever get the technology to make this invention, I mean, people are scared of AI as it is. Like the AI is not very popular. But this takes it to like a whole other degree because like not only is it basically a walking, talking, has emotion sex toy. Like it's basically like a person. Like, and he even says like it's to make it more realistic. Like that's why we have that. This could be a scary time in humanity if this is ever like flirted around with. I know there's already the robots like in China, and they're like dancing around, they're doing stuff. There's even a video of like one robot like running around, and there's a crowd around, and that robot like karate kicks a child in the chest, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, the robot did it on purpose," and the creators are like, "No, the kid just got in the way. Like we're not programming robots to kick people in the chest." So if we ever get to this technology, like that's when it gets scary, I would say.
I mean, then you get into the conspiracies of like the government trying to, contain the population of, its citizens. People can't have kids when you're dealing with, a robot. That could be an effective way of doing that. Like people no longer want to procreate. You get far down that conspiracy hole. Yeah, that could be big trouble if we ever get to this territory.
Yeah, I mean, what if the bots could get pregnant?
Bucket, you're a little weirdo.
I'm just saying, I mean, like, this opens up discussion of, like, weird stuff. Like, would it be weird to share your bot with another person?
All right, Bucket, take it easy. This is your first appearance, and we're going in weird territory.
Yeah, I mean, chat, let us know right now. Comment down below if you think Bucket should be kicked off the podcast.
Switching gears a bit, with this scene going on, it does give us Josh. He does really become the bad guy. And like with this futuristic type of world, like we don't know the normal jobs that these bots serve. Because it is just so different than what we have in reality. So naturally, he is going to come off as the bad guy. But his dialogue does not help out one bit whatsoever. But there are bits to where, like, there's parts to where Iris will cry, and he's like, "Well, yeah, that's part of your programming. It's to make you more realistic. I take you in every other week, and I change out the fluid, just like windshield wiper fluid with the car." So he treats her like an object when reality we're watching this movie. Iris has feelings. Iris really everything acts like a human, but deep down she's a robot controlled by this dude's app on his phone. I do think that is interesting there.
Yeah, I mean, they could have shaped it out another way to where Josh didn't seem so bad. Just by the actions of Iris.
Yeah, so what if the movie decided to go a route to where, like, it's later on that night, Josh and his friends are going to bed, and Iris just starts acting really weird. Like, she starts malfunctioning. This is actually where, like, I thought the movie might go. Because, like, besides the trailer and, like, the blood all over Iris, like, I knew that, again, someone was going to push her buttons. She was going to accidentally kill someone. And then, like, part of me, I was like, I wonder, if her system's going to malfunction and maybe she could kind of become a bad guy. Like, it could literally be like the movie Obsession, like, where the girl standing in the corner of the room. Like, what if Josh is going to bed and Iris is just in the corner, like in the dark, like being all weird, saying these weird things? Like, you could easily tilt this movie to where Josh isn't such a bad guy and you could start to relate to him, even though he does have a sex bot. I don't know. They could have took it in a different direction that they wanted to, but they didn't.
Oh, of course you would bring up Obsession. This dude's obsessed. We covered that movie for the second time last week, and then he brings it up in this episode. I mean, I want to be surprised. Oh, since we got Bucket on board, do you want to cover Obsession a third time? Maybe people haven't heard enough of your thoughts about it.
Hey, it's a great movie, all right? It's easy to relate to. I mean, these movies, they could kind of be similar if they wanted to.
No, you just want to talk about Obsession.
I guess you could say he has an obsession for the movie.
Yeah, I can just picture Hank up at night, just standing in the corner of our rooms, holding up the DVD to whenever it comes out. Hank will find a way to get a DVD of Obsession and just stand there in the corner of the room, be all weird.
All right. Well, let's move on. Rusty, let's segment something.
Well, for the most of the movie, it's basically just a chase scene, right? And then, like, it comes down to the climax. There's reveals here and there. Um, I don't know anything that really sticks out. I thought Patrick was a character that you kind of maybe feel for because it turns out he's a bot.
That was one thing that caught me off guard. Because you think he's the boyfriend the entire time, then you find out he's a bot himself. And like he kind of transforms into a killing machine, like later on in the movie, which was a cool transition for him. By the way, he was in Smile too. He was that drug dealer, like at the very beginning of the movie, like it was all over the trailer for that movie where he like smashes his face into a weight plate. So I don't know, that was cool kind of seeing him get another kind of big role. I thought he did relatively well.
I also liked how they kind of toyed with the app, and Iris was able to like control how her voice was, the intelligence level.
That was cool, but I mean, I do want to point out they were able to do way too much with these bots. I mean, they're able to control the aggressiveness on them. Like I get like people like doing weird stuff in the bed, but I mean, come on, like you're up in the aggressiveness all the way to 100% where they're just stabbing people as soon as like they get a chance because you're telling them to stop in their tracks. That's a very weird thing to allow these bots to do. There's going to be problems later on. Like,
Well, I mean, to be fair, that was a mod.
yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, it was a mod, but I mean, should it be that easy to mod though?
I don't know. I wish I had a mod that could keep talking radios from making fun of me every time I bring up Obsession.
All right, so do we have any thoughts on the ending of the movie Companion?
I mean, I feel like the movie kind of peaked out whenever the entire group that was hunting Iris, like when all of them were killed except Josh. I don't know. I don't want to say the movie was bad, but I feel like it was on the hinge of going on too long. All the cool reveals and stuff, I feel like they had worked their magic. By the time he has Iris like holding her hand over a candle, like catching it on fire, I was kind of like, what are we doing? Like, let's just get to the final showdown here.
I mean, I thought it was pretty funny that Josh finds out the bot surveillanced everything, and basically he was going to be screwed as soon as they brought in that robot. So then he had to make Patrick go berserk and try to kill the workers.
I thought it was kind of interesting that Patrick remembers who he was, Iris reminds him, and, he's able to come back and he kind of takes his own life. I mean, that's kind of dark, but, yeah, I was glad to see Patrick return on a good note before he goes out. That's what I meant.
See, I wasn't a big fan of that because I feel like it kind of broke realism in the bots. I mean, like they are programmed to work this way. And I know it was like kind of showing it glitch, but I was like, come on, like the power of true love was like overcoming his programming to obey Josh. I thought that was a little corny and was a little too convenient to help out Iris. So that was another kind of problem I had with the ending. I mean, I'm not trying to stink on the ending, but I just don't think it was the best thing ever. Like I think the best part of this movie was like in the middle. I was having a lot of fun there. And I felt like it just slowed down a bit towards the end.
Okay, I feel like we cover all the highlight spots here. You have kind of poo-pooed on it a little bit. You weren't as optimistic as you were when you talked about Obsession, which granted, I don't think you ever will be. But what would you give this out of 10?
I think I would give it a 6 or maybe a 6.5. I mean, it's not a bad film at all. It's fun. It's a really fun watch. It kind of has the vibes of Ready or Not. If you are a big fan of that movie, which a lot of people were, you probably will like Companion. It's like a dark comedy. It's got really funny bits. There's parts where I laughed. There's parts where it's really interesting. Again, I feel like the marketing kind of undercut it a bit. I tried to view it without that bias, but it was difficult because I felt like I knew what the first act was gonna do before the big reveal. But overall, it's just a fun movie. If you're into like Ready or Not or those types of movies, check it out, and you're probably gonna enjoy it a lot. And you're probably gonna hate that I give it a 6.5, but to me, 6.5 is a fun movie. If it's bad, I would give it like a 4 or 3, but it's not that. Like, it's an entertaining movie. It's good. It's nothing that breaks the metrics by any means, but again, it's just a fun movie.
Well, that's not a bad segment to end it now, is it?
Now, I'll tell you what, Rusty, go ahead and segment us out, because I think that's, we've basically covered everything that we want to talk about Companion.
All right, well, here we go. So you guys know the drill. Thanks for listening. We're really glad if you're still here. If you could give this episode a like, it gets it out to other people. Subscribe to this channel so you know when the next one comes out. Hit that like button and subscribe button so freaking hard that if it was a sex robot, it would obliterate it completely and it wouldn't be able to record anything. Again, we appreciate you listening. This podcast will get better. And if you agree or disagree, comment down below. But more importantly, if you think that Bucket should be kicked off this podcast, also comment that down below.
Or you could comment how much you love me.
All right, guys, seriously, thanks for listening. Until next time.